Welcome back into Slaughterhouse Sports. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that is going to be on top of mind in the sports world. And today in college basketball, we had Duke lose to Wake Forest, and then at the end of the game in North Carolina, the fans, stormed the court at Wake, and Kyle Filipowski ended up getting injured. He injured his ankle in the process as a fan, ran towards Filipowski and made contact with the guy's ankle. So then after the basketball game, Jon Scheyer said court storming is unnecessary. I'm paraphrasing a bit. He said that court storming has no place in our game and that it's dangerous. And when is it going to be outlawed? That's what he said. He wanted court stormings to be eliminated from the sport of college basketball. And then he said, where else does this happen? And, okay, in NBA basketball, there isn't court storming. So court stormings are not that occurrence at many high school. It happens. College football, it happens. I happen to love court stormings. I love watching these students, these fans of the team. I love seeing them celebrate with players, with coaches of the university. It's a great triumph. And for Jon Scheyer, he is at Duke. So when you are the 1% or you're the top of the top, a lot of times, you're the biggest game coming into someone's house, and odds are you're going to get court stormed if you don't win these games. I understand he's angry too about Filipowski. However, for a lot of fans that might not even be into college basketball, the chance to storm the court, to take it over with your, brethren, with your friends, both guys and girls, all the students rushing the floor together. It's a joyous occasion. It's fun. It is fantastic. It's legendary. It's tremendous. Some of those pictures that you have storming the court, these are some of your great memories. It's when we look at the Wofford shot, Christian Watford beating Kentucky, or we look at this year Nebraska beat Purdue, or when number one goes down, even Connecticut. Even seeing Creighton beat Connecticut, what I remember is the end of the game and the students erupting and everybody going to the court in unison. It's not even just students. It's adults, it's kids, it's small children, everybody going onto the court to celebrate. So there should be a way for in regular season games, and I even wish in some tournament games that fans can storm the court. Now, of course, it takes a couple of bad actors to ruin a really good thing, to ruin something that's been so fun, that's been done for 60 years of college basketball. It's a great it's something that's been happening, and it's something that for the majority of court stormings, I'd say probably 92% of them, players are not getting hurt. Now, I understand the danger of court storming. So if somebody clicked off of this video, they'd say to you're unsympathetic to the guys that get injured, or you're unsympathetic to players on the road team that get surrounded and trapped by the home team and by their fans. I completely get that. And that is why we need to make court storming safer. And that is, we saw Creighton the other day was able to rope off the team, able to get to the handshake line that way. And really, if the fans were a little bit more patient in the process, I know that they're excited. I know that sometimes they've been drinking or whatever, and the fans are jacked up and they're ready to roll and ready to get on the floor. I think for a fan to be able to be on the court with all of your friends, with everybody in the student body, with all the administrative people, even the ADs and even people that work in the school, even teachers and faculty, also bring their kids to storm the court as well. And they cheer. There's music on the loudspeaker. There's dancing. There's singing. It is one of the prettiest sights of humanity that you can see not only in sports but in the world. Seeing a court storming could bring a tear to your eye. Even, my own mom, who doesn't really like college basketball, she'll stop and watch court stormings. It's just like one shining moment. Like, it's something that transcends sports, is seeing the fans and seeing the community on the floor. So do not ever get rid of that moment. Do not get rid of court storming. Now, court storming can be adjusted so that the players, so that the away team can be safe, which is, again, the game ends. You happen to show a little bit of poise. I know you're 18 or 19 years old, but you happen to wait as security that is there, and you let the away team, you obviously show class. You've just won the game. So you show class. You let them go to the handshake line. There's then a way that they can get to their locker room safely, and then the students should be able to go onto the floor in a safe manner. Okay? Now, people might think, storming the court, it's just as good watching the game, and it's not a big deal. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Like, the game is about the players, and as fans, you should just, be grateful to be in the building and just stay in your seat. The court is reserved for the players. Well, after the game is over. And the fact is that when you have a great upset, you should be able to celebrate and be able to celebrate as a community. And it's one of the cooler moments in sports, and it could be perfectly safe. Okay. Is it, when Joe Burrow and LSU won a national championship, like, is it smart to smoke cigars? You could get injured doing that. Your lungs can get hurt. Or how about when when Duke basketball goes bowling? You know what? You can hurt yourself going bowling. You can hurt yourself doing paintball. Like any activity that you're doing, even playing ping pong, like, there's risk in like just about everything that somebody does. So in the name of, is this safe or not safe? The Duke fans are literally can reach out and touch the opposing player during the game. Like, is that the safest thing? Should we get rid of the Cameron Crazies and move them back? What happens if a student that's camping out at a Cameron Crazy event, what happens if a student gets, some kind of, Lyme disease from sitting out camping? Can't they get sick from camping out before games? Or should you outlaw Krzyzewskiville? Should you outlaw, what is more dangerous, a court storming indoors or somebody sitting in sub 30 degree temperatures in a tent, okay, just waiting to get into a college basketball game? So if Jon Scheyer was coaching at like Texas Tech, or Jon Scheyer was coaching at Georgia Tech, or let me think of another, or Boston College, and his team just had a court storming victory, he would not be saying this. Okay, I understand that he's so frustrated about the way Filipowski got hurt. There should be a way to rope off the players, and then the student should practice court storming, or there should be a way that you could do it in a professional and fine manner. Because if I was a student, I would not want to lose the opportunity to be able to storm the court. I would not. And court storming is one of the best and most beautiful things about the game of college basketball. And the fact that somebody wants to take it away out of safety, it's ludicrous. It doesn't make sense to remove it. It's such a damn good, positive thing. I don't see the need to remove it completely. I don't. I think that fans can wait. I think that it could be done in a more professional manner. And I think that the moments could still be cherished, because not storming the court is also lame. Just sitting there watching, cheering. That's why NCAA tournaments are more lame. I mean, you go back, you look at the 80s and the 90s when fans could storm the court. Like, imagine if Fairleigh Davidson fans could storm the court after they beat Purdue. Imagine if they waited till Purdue was in the handshake line and then they could storm the court. Imagine a 16-1. I mean, that type of scene, that's the stuff that you tell your grandkids about. You know, the reaction, the climax, the end of the movie, the end of the show. What happened? The celebration, the wow. It's like in the Super Bowl. That's why so many people got on Tony Romo, because when Kansas City was able to win, Tony Romo, they said, ruined that moment. Well, the court storming, you know, a minute after the game, and then you have Van Pelt like come in with a great interview, and the whole court is surrounded. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful moment for that college. And I know that Filipowski got hurt, but why should Jon Scheyer have the ego to say, why should he be the commissioner of college sports and say, you can never, you got to ban and outlaw all these fans and deprive all these people of this happiness? Why is Jon Scheyer suddenly the person that, you know, needs to say that? Oh, and, you know, and Jon Scheyer is going to say, oh, well, more people are going to get hurt. Well, that's why you can adjust it, okay? That's why a college football commissioner, that's why a commissioner would come in and make it safer. The way Creighton did it was perfect. They roped off the players. They were totally safe. And the players from the other team were protected, and that's exactly the way it needs to go. You need to have 30 seconds after the game to let them rope off the floor, and then you should be able to go onto the floor, leave the floor in a professional manner. You're a college kid, okay? You're a college kid, and you have a responsibility going to the university to not injure or harm the other players at all. And show class and gratitude when you win, and celebrate amongst yourselves, because it's great. And if they got rid of it, the sport would take a hit. It wouldn't be as fun. The upsets, it would take a big hit on enjoyment, on my personal enjoyment as well. And I just think that there's an easy middle ground solution, that an outright ban is just such short-sighted, kind of lazy thinking. This is somebody that's never liked court storming in Jon Scheyer, where I happen to value it. I happen to cherish it personally, and I think that there's people out there like me that also seem to love watching the fans go onto the court after a game and celebrate a victory. So I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the matter. All right.